Welcome to the Here's My Story channel. I'm Eliza. My dad took us out to dinner for my sister Skylar's birthday. She was as grouchy as ever. She cut a piece of her steak and put it in her mouth. Then she made a face and called out to our waiter. Hey, look here. I wanted my steak cooked medium well, but this is medium rare. You have to bring me another one right now. We were at the best restaurant in the city. I didn't think there was anything wrong with the food. My older sister loves yelling at people. Unfortunately, this is how she treats the cooks, the drivers, and the maids that work for us as well. She wasn't always like this. She changed a lot after my mom passed and became this insufferable person. The waiter apologized and took away Skylar's plate. My sister was still going on about how he had one job and still failed to do it. My dad tried to break the bad mood. Skylar, honey, today's your birthday. Don't worry about the steak. Why not enjoy yourself? Tell me now, are you curious about your birthday present? Skylar shrugged. Didn't you say you were getting me a yacht? My dad smiled. Yes, a yacht, but wait till you see it, he said, holding up a photo on his phone. I had it built in France. Apparently this is a huge hit with people your age right now. Skylar took my dad's phone from him to see. It doesn't look bad. How long is it? My dad took out a small gift box from his pocket. 40 feet. It's a sports yacht, so it's not too big, but I'm sure you'll love it. Happy birthday, honey. Here's the keys to your new yacht, he said, offering the box to my sister. Skylar was upset. She took the box and threw it away. 40 feet? Dad, are you kidding me? My friends will make fun of me. Is this tiny yacht what I'm worth to you? Then she jumped up. Eliza, call my driver now. He can pick me up from the entrance. Thankfully, I have friends who care about me. They're throwing me a birthday party. I've lost enough time here, she said, and left the restaurant. Dad looked really upset. Shall we walk? I said to him. We went outside. We walked silently on the promenade for a while. Then we found a bench to sit on. My dad was still shaken. I messed up everything after your mom died. I'm a bad father, he said. You are not a bad father. You did everything we wanted to help us forget about our loss. You did things we didn't even ask for. Unfortunately, I think that turned Skylar into a spoiled brat, but this isn't your fault. You only wanted to make us happy. Skylar might not be aware of it, but I can see that clearly, I said, and gave him a hug. Skylar stopped talking to us after that evening. Our house was so big that I didn't even run into her. Sometimes when I came home from school, I would see her driver. He would be carrying Skylar's shopping bags to her room. Dresses, perfumes, jewelry worth tens of thousands of dollars. Skylar spent most of her time shopping even though she didn't need anything. If she wasn't shopping, she was partying with other spoiled brats. One morning, I woke up to a knock on my door. When I opened the door, it was one of the maids. She looked really sad. Your dad and your sister are waiting for you in the grand living room. Unfortunately, things do not look good, ma'am, she said. I felt panicked. I put on some clothes real quick and went to the grand living room. There were a lot of people whom I'd never seen in my life. They were taking photos of the paintings and sculptures around the room, taking notes. Some men were carrying the artwork and pieces of furniture outside. My dad and Skylar were sitting on a couch. Skylar's eyes were puffy from crying. My dad got up when he saw me. Eliza, I didn't mean for you to find out this way, but I couldn't pay the loan I got from the bank for the construction of the dam. Unfortunately, the company went bankrupt. The bank is seizing all of our assets to pay off our debt. We need to move out of this house today, he said. Meanwhile, one of the men approached Skylar. Would you mind handing over your necklace and rings? We confiscated all the other jewelry in your room. The only ones missing are those you're wearing. We need to take those as well. In tears, Skylar did what the man told her to do. Then she turned to my dad. What kind of father are you? What are we going to do? Aren't you ashamed to be doing this to us? She screamed. I couldn't stop myself from screaming back at her. Enough! Aren't you ashamed of blaming Dad for this? You lived like a princess thanks to him. Now it's over. We need to take care of ourselves now. We moved into a small house in one of the worst neighborhoods in the city. Skylar and I were staying in the same room. I don't deserve this. I can't live like this, she was repeating to herself as she cried nonstop. Surely I missed our old days too, but that comfy life was in the past for us. We were no longer a wealthy family, and we had to fight hard to survive. Our house was really old. Nothing worked right. One night, Skylar's yelling woke me up. Damn it! Damn toilet! She was screaming. My sister came out of the bathroom a while later. The toilet was clogged. I had to clean the whole bathroom. Can you imagine? I cleaned it with my hands, she said. She seemed surprised she was able to do this. Welcome to the real world. It sucks. You're gonna love it, I replied. Our new life was difficult for me as well, but it was obvious that Skylar was going to have a much harder time. My dad was interviewing for jobs all the time, but he hadn't found anything yet. One evening, he came to our room. "Girls, we have no money left. I can't give you any allowance until I get a job," he said. When Skylar said, "Dad, I need to go grocery shopping. We don't have any food left in the house," he took out his wallet and gave her the last bill inside it. Skylar stared at the bill and said, "I don't think $10 will be enough." My dad replied, "This is it, honey. We need to stretch this for a while." Skylar was sad to see my dad so desolate. She decided to ask for help from her friends. "Please don't ask anyone for money. You can work and make some yourself," I said to her, but she wouldn't listen. She called her best friend Ava and told her what happened. They were on a video call so I could hear Ava's voice. Ava asked, "Skylar, your dad lost everything. You're poor now. How are you going to pay me back?" When my sister said, "I'll pay you down the line, I promise. You're my best friend. You have to help me," Ava got mad. "I don't have to do anything. I think you should find some new friends that are better suited to your present situation. Don't call me again," she said. Skylar wasn't expecting this at all. When I saw her disappointment, I felt so sad. I went ahead and gave her a hug. She hugged me back. She started to cry softly. I stroked her hair and said, "Sis, we're a family. When families come together, they can overcome anything." That night, I looked for a job that would be a good match for us. I found a waitressing job for Skylar and a dishwashing job for myself in a restaurant nearby. Skylar was cranky at first, but she had to accept it because she had no other option. We went to the restaurant after school. Skylar put on her uniform and came to me. "Do you think I can do this?" she asked. "You probably can't, but you will still keep working until your shift's up," I responded. She embraced me laughing. This was the first time in a long time I'd seen her smile. I'd been washing dishes for hours. I peeked inside when I heard yelling. A customer was screaming at Skylar. Skylar walked into the kitchen holding the plate. The chef asked, "What happened? What did she not like?" Skylar replied, "She said the food was cold. It's actually not my fault. It got cold because she was on the phone with someone, and yet she still wants another one." The chef took the plate and spat in it. Skylar and I couldn't believe our eyes. Then he heated up the food in the microwave and gave it back to Skylar. My sister was still in shock. You spat in the food," she said. The chef shrugged. "This is how grumbling customers are punished. She shouldn't have yelled at you," he said. Skylar looked at me. I knew what she was thinking. She asked regretfully, "Eliza, how many times do you think I got this punishment?" "Many, many, many times," I said. We went into a laughing fit for a few minutes. With the first paycheck we got from the restaurant, we did a huge grocery run. We got our dad a nice wine. Then we prepared a really nice dinner. Dad was really moved when he saw the table. "I can't tell you how happy I am. I'm so proud of you. You've come a long way in such a short time. We're a family again, just like we used to be." Next morning when we woke up, Dad wasn't home. We found a note in the kitchen. Dad had put down an address on a piece of paper. "Please come here," he wrote. Of course, we were very curious. We rushed to get ready and jumped in a cab. After half an hour, we arrived at the address that was on the note. This was a gigantic mansion. My dad was waiting for us in the front yard. He opened his arms wide when he saw us. "Welcome to your new house, my lovely daughters," he said. "What's going on, Dad? What is this place?" I asked. Dad replied, "I bought this house a while ago. I've been trying to decorate it for months. I'm sure you'll love it." Skylar asked, "Dad, didn't you file for bankruptcy? The bank took our house, our furniture, even my jewelry. How did you buy this place?" Dad smiled. "Please don't be mad at me. The bank didn't seize that house. I don't owe anything to anyone. I sold that house because I bought this one, and I wanted to play a little game with you. The movers were actually professional actors, and they really did a great job at playing their roles," he said. I thought I knew why my dad did this to us, but still I asked, "Dad, you tricked us? But why?" Dad looked at Skylar. "It's simple, because I needed us to be a family again. I was so sad about Skylar. I wanted her to realize some things, and I think I succeeded. Last night, for the first time since your mother's passing, I felt like we were a family again," he said. Then he turned to Skylar. "Do you think my little trick worked, honey?" he asked. Skylar said, "It definitely did. Thank you so much, Dad. I needed a lesson to see how spoiled I was," and hugged him. Then I hugged them both. We stood embracing each other in front of the house. After that day, Skylar never acted that way again. She made herself new friends and gave all her attention to her studies. And above all, she started treating restaurant staff very nicely in order not to deserve that unpleasant punishment.
My mom walked into my room with my cousin Jenna and said, "Evie, will you please clean up your room?" "What's going on, Mom?" I asked. "Jenna needs a room, and as you know, this is the only room in the house she can stay in," Mom replied. I was taken aback. "But what about me?" I asked. "You will move into the living room," she responded casually. "Mom, there is plenty of room for us here. Jenna and I can share. Why am I moving out?" I objected. "'Cause I'd love to do that, but I'm a very light sleeper. If we share a room, I'll never be able to get a good night's sleep. That's why I need a room of my own," Jenna said in a fake, sad voice. I knew this wasn't true, but my mom didn't let me say anything else. Jenna is my mom's older sister's daughter. Her parents moved abroad for work. My cousin would soon attend college, so they wanted to avoid taking her along. My mom offered to host Jenna until she graduates high school. My aunt happily agreed. My mom gave my room to my cousin, which meant I would stay in the living room for the next 2 years. Even though I was upset, there was nothing I could do about it because I knew my mom loved Jenna more than she loved me. She wouldn't change her mind no matter how hard I protested. After my cousin moved into our home, her favoritism intensified. She would spend so much time with Jenna. My mom would pick her up from school and take her shopping. In the evenings, they would watch shows together. They would cook dinner. They would talk for hours, laughing out loud all the time. My mom was thrilled to have found her dream daughter. She only thought of me when a chore needed to be done around the house. "Evie, do the laundry. Evie, iron the clothes. Evie, take the trash out." I'd literally turned into Cinderella of the house. One day, Mom told me, "I'm picking up Jenna after school. We're going to go see a movie. Please clean up your cousin's room while we're out." I lost it. "Mom, why am I always cleaning up after Jenna? That's not fair," I screamed. "She's a guest at our house. Of course you're supposed to clean her room as her host. I don't want to hear any objections," she replied to me, frowning. My dad was quite busy with work at that time. He would leave early in the morning and return home after we all went to bed. I waited up for him one night. I told him what was going on. "It seems like your mom has gotten carried away playing the host. I'll talk to her," he said, soothing me. My mom came to talk to me the following day as I was getting ready for school. "Shame on you for complaining to your dad about me. We fought over your lies," she yelled. "Mom, I didn't lie. I just told him what's been happening," I said. It made her even angrier. "I know you're jealous of Jenna. You're not going to tell your dad one more word about this. Do you understand?" she snapped. Jenna walked in. "Aunt Hannah, you're going to drop me off at school, aren't you?" she asked. "Yes, honey. If you're ready, we can leave. And Evie should start cleaning your room," she said sweetly. "That would be awesome. Thanks, cuz," Jenna said with a crooked smile. After they left, I did what my mom told me to do. As I was vacuuming Jenna's room, my phone rang. It was my cousin. She sounded panicky. She said, "Evie, your mom, Aunt Hannah, we stopped to get coffee. She collapsed abruptly. They called 911. The ambulance came. They're taking her to the hospital." When I got to the hospital, I saw my dad was already there. Jenna was with him. They looked devastated. I hugged my dad in tears. "Your mom is in intensive care. The doctors are running some tests, trying to figure out why she passed out," he said. A few hours later, a doctor informed us about my mom's status. He looked at my dad sternly. "Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to give you any good news. Your wife has been diagnosed with leukemia, and it's quite advanced. We will begin chemotherapy right away, but that's not enough by itself. We also need to do a bone marrow transplant if we want her to recover completely," he said. Then the doctor turned to me. "You're the patient's daughter, right? We will get a blood sample from you immediately and test to see if you're a match. You can be a bone marrow donor if your tissue is compatible with your mother's. That means we'll transplant your marrow to your mom," he said. They drew blood from me at the lab. According to the doctor, our tissues had a 30% chance of being compatible. We were so sad when we came home. We would get the results the next day. Jenna and I prayed all night. Early the following day, we went to the hospital. The doctor looked sad. The result was negative. I couldn't donate my bone marrow to my mom. I started crying. Don't lose heart. In this case, we will look at samples from other close relatives of your mother. The chances are still low, but we could find a match, he said. When I heard this, I jumped in. Jenna is my mom's niece. You can get a sample from her. Please test my blood. I'll do anything for Aunt Hannah. She means so much to me, Jenna said. They drew Jenna's blood for testing. We waited for the results impatiently. When we arrived at the hospital in the morning, the doctor was smiling. I have great news for you. Jenna's tissues are perfectly compatible with your mom's. We can do the transplant, he said, turning to Jenna. Jenna, you're going to save your aunt's life. Don't worry, it's a straightforward procedure, not that much different than giving blood. Today, we will prepare her for transplantation. Please be here early tomorrow morning, he explained. We were all so happy. Jenna and I did a little dance while hugging each other. I couldn't sleep for a long time because of the excitement. I regretted what I felt for Jenna earlier. Thanks to her, my mother's life would be saved. We arrived at the hospital early in the morning. The doctor was waiting for us in his office. They're preparing the operating room as we speak. We can start in an hour or so. You can find yourself something to eat in the meantime. The procedure will take some time, so you may not get another chance later, he advised us. We were very excited. Jenna and I were eating and chatting in the cafeteria. I was feeling such a surge of gratitude toward Jenna. I thanked her over and over again. My dad's phone rang. It was my mom's doctor. He let us know that the operating room was ready. They brought my mom in for the procedure. He said Jenna could come in. Jenna suddenly stood up. I can't do it. I just can't, she said and burst into tears. Jenna, there's nothing to be scared of. The doctor said it was a really simple procedure, I said, trying to calm her down. But Jenna wasn't listening. I can't do it. I'm sorry, cuz I can't do it, she said and started running. My dad and I were both in shock. At first, we froze. Then we began going after her. She was running towards the exit. She abruptly left the hospital as we stood staring after her. My dad and I looked at each other. This was so unexpected. I hugged my dad and then began crying out of desperation. They took my mom back to her room because there was nothing to do. She, too, was very sad. How can Jenna do this? She was saying. Her disappointment was much deeper than ours. When we got home that night, we were in for a surprise. Jenna had left a letter on her bed. I opened it and started reading. Hi, cuz. I'm sorry for disappointing you. This procedure could be dangerous, and I'm too young. Aunt Hannah is a good person, but I still can't risk my life for her. I hope you can understand me. Actually, I don't care if you don't. I don't have to give my bone marrow to your mom just because she was good to me. Bye. Jenna had written this the previous night. She'd left it on her bed as we left home together that morning. This meant that she had no intention of becoming a donor from the start. She was trying to find a way to escape from the hospital. She fooled us. We were wrong to believe her. The next few days were a nightmare. My mom's condition worsened day by day. All of my mom's relatives were tested to see if there were any other matches, but all of the tests came back negative. We had almost no chance of saving Mom. All day and night, my dad and I sat desperately outside my mom's room as if waiting for a miracle. Sitting in the waiting area one night, we heard yelling in the hallway. The emergency personnel screamed, make way," as they pushed a gurney through. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw who was lying on the gurney. It was Jenna. Shortly after, my mom's doctor came running to find us. It was late at night, so he was the one who had to tend to her in the emergency room. Evie, your cousin was in a car accident. Your blood types match. We need to give her a blood transfusion right now, or she might go into shock. She's lost too much blood, he said. Without thinking, I got up and followed the doctor. Jenna had indeed lost a lot of blood. Thankfully, the immediate blood transfusion saved her life. In the morning, they took her out of intensive care and brought her into the room next to my mom's. She was crying when I walked into her room. Cousin, the doctors told me what happened last night. I don't deserve your kindness. Please forgive me. I talked to the doctor and signed the paperwork. As soon as I feel better, I will become a donor for Aunt Hannah. I should have done it sooner, but I was scared, so I ran away. I'm full of regret right now, she said. I didn't expect her to donate her bone marrow when I gave my blood to her. On the other hand, I couldn't pass up that offer. This was the miracle we'd been waiting for. This time, Jenna kept her promise. When she recovered, she became a donor for my mom. She saved her life. After the transplant, my mom recovered much faster than the doctors expected. My mom left the hospital 3 months ago. We're so happy to have her back. Like Jenna, she feels guilty. I wish I could turn back time. I feel so bad about how I treated you. I was so unfair. You're my daughter, and I love you, she always says. By the way, Jenna moved in with us again. However, she now sleeps in the living room and does all the housework herself. She refuses my help when I offer it. I guess that's her way of making amends. To be honest, I'm not complaining about it at all.
I was scrolling through Instagram as I was killing time before my class. When I looked up, I saw Isabel walking towards me. I was excited. She was the queen bee of the popular girls at school. I really wanted to join her crowd, but I'd never even come close to making her pay attention to me. Isabel stood right in front of me. "Do you mind?" I looked at her blankly. "Do I mind what?" I asked. She rolled her eyes. "I'm going to get something from my locker, but you're standing right in front of it. Can you please go and stand somewhere else?" I was disappointed. First, I looked at the locker and then at Isabel. "Sorry," I said, and quickly walked away. I spent the whole week thinking about that moment. I was so mad at myself. I wasn't as cool as the girls in her group. It was ridiculous to believe she wanted to talk to me. Isabel was dating the captain of the soccer team. As I'm sure you know, that's the unspoken rule. Popular girls date popular guys. I wanted to be popular, so I was crushing on all the popular guys at school. Despite my obsession with popularity, someone unexpected came into my life. Liam, one of the nerdiest guys in the whole school. I only knew his name. We'd never had a conversation before. One morning, he came up to me. I thought he was going to ask for a pen or something. Suddenly, he asked, "Oh, what are you doing this weekend?" I was not expecting that, so I said, "I'm sorry, what did you say?" Liam flushed. "This weekend, do you want to see a movie or something?" he managed to say. I opened my mouth to tell him off, but instead, I felt my mouth make the words, "Sure, why not?" I was so surprised to hear what I had actually said. Liam wasn't my type at all, but it was as though my brain had somehow been blocked. It was as if I was seized by this force that made me say yes to him. Liam and I met on Sunday. Contrary to my expectations, we had a great time. He was so funny. When I talked, he listened to me without blinking. Everything he said was wise beyond his years. Before meeting with him, I thought I'd be annoyed by him, but I ended up falling for him. Liam and I had an amazing relationship, but one day, something unexpected happened. I had this indescribable feeling. We were having a great time as usual, but I felt like there was some kind of distance between us. Finally, I decided that it wasn't me, that something was different with him. "Liam, I feel like something's off. I might be overreacting, but is something different about you today?" I asked. Liam paused for a moment. I was afraid this might happen. I didn't get it. "What were you afraid of?" I asked. "Your feelings are right. Yes, there's something different about me today. I smell different. I don't smell like I did before," he replied. "What?" I asked. He started explaining. "Naomi, I was in love with you and wanted you to like me, so I did something crazy. There's this flower called the Angel of the Dawn. It grows only at the peaks of the Himalayan mountains, and it blooms once a year on the first day of June at sunrise. The perfume made from this flower has an incredible effect on people. When you put on this perfume and stay close to a person for a certain amount of time, that person starts to like you because of how you smell." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Liam, what are you saying? How did you find this perfume?" was all I could say. Liam took a deep breath. "Actually, this flower is considered an endangered species, so it's not allowed out of Tibet. But some people harvest it illegally and make perfume from it. They sell it on the dark web for a ridiculous price. I was only able to buy a small bottle by selling my laptop. Unfortunately, I ran out and have no money to buy another one, so that's why I don't smell like the Angel of the Dawn today. I thought maybe I didn't need it anymore because we've come such a long way in our relationship, but unfortunately, this isn't the case. You felt it right away." I had tears pouring down my face. "Liam, do you realize how dishonest that is? You made me like you by cheating. It is unacceptable. You didn't have the right to do this," I yelled. Liam had come into my life suddenly, and he left the same way. I felt cheated. I averted my gaze elsewhere whenever I saw him at school. Even if he were a good person, I couldn't forgive him after what he'd done. I was back to my old routine. My sole purpose in life was to get with the popular girls. One day, I was admiring Isabel and the girls in her clique at the cafeteria. I wish I were at their table and the other students were admiring me, I thought. I had a light bulb go off in my head. They would like me if I could apply the Angel of the Dawn and then go near them. That way, I could be one of the popular ones. I ran around the school to find Liam. He was surprised to see me. I may be able to forgive you, but on one condition, I said. Anything you want, he replied. I want you to find me the Angel of the Dawn. How much do you need to do that? I asked. It's so expensive. A small bottle costs $2,000, he said sadly. That, of course, was a lot of money. My parents got divorced when I was little. I was raised by a single mom. There was no way I could ask her for that kind of money. So I had to sell my laptop and my iPad too. Even so, it wasn't enough to raise the $2,000. Liam helped me out by selling his cell phone. This guy liked me enough to do that for me. We went to the school's computer lab. Liam ordered the Angel of the Dawn from the dark web. At the end of the week, the perfume arrived in the mail. I couldn't sleep that night because the next day, I would find out if it really worked. When I walked into the schoolyard the following day, I saw Isabel and her girls chatting. I approached them with hesitant steps. They were busy talking to each other, but they went quiet when they saw me. They looked at me curiously and waited for me to say something. I kept walking silently. I had to get close to them for the perfume to do its thing. Frowning, Isabel said, Yes? Apparently she hadn't caught a whiff of the perfume yet. I took one more step. Then I saw Isabel's eyebrows relax. I said, Hi, I'm Naomi. Hi, Naomi, Isabel said with a smile and gave me a handshake. The expression of the other girls' faces turned from shock to surprise. They introduced themselves. The Angel of the Dawn worked. The popular girls liked me because of my perfume. That's how I became a part of Isabel's crowd. It was truly incredible. The other students were admiring me. I was so excited I couldn't sleep that night. I practically ran to school every day. I'd become the most popular girl at school. Whoever came close to me was mesmerized by my presence, and they all loved me instantly. I owed this miracle to my perfume, of course. As time went by, I got a little disheartened. It was hard to admit even to myself that the popular girls were a disappointment in some respects. First, their only topic of conversation was the popular boys at school and the teachers. They were constantly gossiping and never got tired of it. Moreover, there was this strict hierarchy within the group. Isabel was more of a boss than a leader. She bossed them around all the time. She would say things like, "Go get me coffee," and "paint my fingernails." And the girls did as they were told without any objection. In time, I realized this was the price you had to pay to be popular. You had to put up with Isabel if you wanted to stay in the clique. 4 months passed. One day, when I returned from school, I found my perfume bottle empty. I was shocked. There was so little perfume to begin with. That's why I used it sparingly, but somehow, whatever little was left of it was gone now. Just at that moment, I heard our apartment door open. My mom was back from work. I ran to her. Before I could say anything, she started telling me a story. Naomi, honey, I had an incredible day. Today was the luckiest day of my life. First, my boss told me he was giving me a raise. Then my manager gave me a promotion. I am now the department chief. After work, I met up with my boyfriend. I'd been expecting him to propose to me, and I'd almost lost all hope. Do you know what happened? Jeremy proposed to me today. You heard that right. Let's set a date for the wedding, he said. Oh God, what a day. All these things happening on the same day. Doesn't this sound like a miracle to you? I knew why these things had happened to my mom, but I still wanted to ask her, Mom, is it possible that you applied my perfume today? It was a small bottle on my table. The smile on my mother's face brightened. Oh, yes, honey. Oh, what a wonderful perfume. I loved the scent. No brand name was on it, and I thought it must be cheap and replaceable, so I finished it. Oh, I hope you're not mad. It seemed like the Angel of the Dawn worked better for my mom than it ever did for me. I winked at her playfully. So, Jeremy finally proposed. Congratulations. And also congrats on everything that happened at work. Since you're getting a raise, how about getting me a new phone? I kissed her, adding, I need to see a friend now, but I won't be late, and left home. Liam still didn't have a phone. I planned to give him the phone my mom would buy me. Since I couldn't call him, I had to go to his place. I rang his doorbell. He was so happy to see me. Why don't you come out? I want to talk to you about something, I said. We went to the park and sat down on a bench. Liam, I don't want to be the popular girl anymore. It's not what it seems. Their lives are miserable. I want to be your girlfriend again. I missed spending time with you, I said. He was shocked. I have to tell you one more thing, I continued. I'm thankful to the angel of the dawn. It helped me find you and get in with the popular girls, but I don't want to hear about it again. I love you because you're you. Please love me because I'm me, I said. 6 more months passed. Our relationship is going great. My mom and Jeremy got married, if you were wondering. He was already in love with her. The perfume only sped things up for them. So I'm also thankful to the angel of the dawn for my mom.